And I go like, hey guys, in the apartment, I have songs for you. And they're like, oh boy. And then I go like, da-da-da-da-da, get more milk. Or da-da-da-da-da, stop smoking weed. Da-da-da-da-da. And then Brett looks over at me, and I'm like, here, Brett, I have a song for you. Da-da-da-da-da, you're cute. Then he just grabs the guitar and puts it at the other end of the room. And I'm like, why won't you let me have fun?
Don't forget to flush the toilet.
Please put the seat down. I almost fell in.
Oh boy, yeah, I have the feeling it can only go downward from here, so in this sense, hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast. Wayne, Keyframe, Wonderbout, Random Dribble, and today with us for the very first time, Waldorf and Stettler. Welcome to the show, you two.
Waldorf and Stat.
German names, whatever. Oh, and by the way, there is also, I need to lean over a bit more so it can actually present in the right direction, Michael Edwards!
Hello, Michael.
Oh, wait, no, I'd have to be... there. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. My hands are too low.
Don't look down on me like this, young man.
Oh, my God. Okay, Michael, who are you? Why should we care? Where may people know you from or heard you from?
Wink, wink, not.
I'm a voice actor. I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years. I've done voice work for several Pymations videos. I'm Roadhog in his Overwatch stuff. Recently recorded something last night for a coming project. I was in an expansion of StarCraft 2 called StarCraft Universe. I have done some stuff for Smash Bits. I was in if Minecraft was realistic. What else? God, I'm trying to think.
Weren't you on the one and only channel of Aficionados, Chris?
Many times. I did Optimus Prime and his Transformers review. Oh no, that was on a different channel though. That still counts. I've done narration for his videos. I was in the Days of Future Past video. I was the Hulk in his Iron Man and Hulk video. Trying to think, I've done so many things for Chris, I don't even remember.
Have you done Chris?
Have I done? No, we didn't meet though.
Oh, well,
Yes.
Well, how has your week in life been, Michael? Any funny or interesting anecdotes you want to share with the class?
What did you do?
Well, again, last night, me, Mike, Pymation, Zach, and a few other people were recording for a new project. Now that he tweeted about it last night, we were recording for Suction Cup Man 3.
Ooh!
Suction Cup Man!
Wait, you're going to be in Suction Cup Man?
Yeah, I'm going to be in the new Suction Cup Man. So I'm allowed to talk about it, like he posted a screen cap of it, so...
Look at me go! Look at me Suction Cup Man!
You can see he's a fan.
I wrote a song for you! Fuck you! Wait, this was what you did.
Nah, I just did one note.
Okay.
But, yeah, so that's cool, but, besides that, do you have any other things that you could tell us about your week, your life, people you met at the grocery store?
Well, I started class earlier this week, so that's been fun, having to work out some bad scheduling conflicts with that, so...
What are you studying?
Do tell, yeah, what kind of
Well, I do theater, but I'm just getting some classes done to get the semester over with.
That's
I'm closer to graduating, so that's all that counts.
That is all that counts.
I mean, at the end of the day, I have the feeling that a Keyframe and my What Happened This Week segment might go a little bit longer anyways.
Yeah,
so.
we have quite the stories to tell.
Oh,
but
boy,
are you guys doing a current production at your theater, or are you guys just studying, or?
We are, but I'm not involved in it.
Oh.
I'm usually not.
What are they producing that you are not involved in?
A show called Anatomy of Grey. It's like a period piece, comedy kind of thing.
That sounds nothing like you. I'm glad that you're investing your time in Suction Cup.
Well, it's a funny show. I just haven't done anything for it.
Well then, thank you for the intense look upon your life, and also.
Well, I saw Christopher Robin last week. That was fun.
Oh.
Did you like it?
It's like I'm just kind of look. I don't have everything I've done the entire week all stored in one certain spot.
I know the feeling so well.
Oh no, there's gonna be like 20 minutes from now. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I bought this. Like
it's like, oh yeah, I saved a cat from a tree. But did someone have a heart attack in the theater for Christopher Robin?
No, not like Chris.
Oh well, that was your week. now I guess we should talk about ours. And ours is conjoined because, well, we were kind of stuck with each other.
Yeah, and
Well, yeah.
I guess the primary highlight of that past week is Eurofurence 2014.
Yay! Okay, to explain what Eurofurence is, it is the biggest furry convention in Europe.
That's very true.
Yes, we are. If you haven't found out, we are dirty furries, and Michael just leaves.
I mean, let's see. My background is actually
Michael,
surprisingly neutral.
Michael, I'm sorry.
No, I realized now that even Lyra went down, there is one less furry picture on the back because I replaced her finally with
Talus.
the Tali.
Tally.
Tali.
I accidentally said Talus.
Yeah, Tali from Mass Effect.
Why-
so
why did you
her
take
butt
down
is now
Lyra?
here. Lyra fell down by herself, and while she was down, I was like, let's put up something new there for finally bring some change to the wall. Get Tally's butt the spotlight that it always deserved, unless this ugly Photoshop face in Mass Effect 3. Never mind.
Anyway, for Eurofurence.
Yes, Eurofurence. Europe's biggest furry convention. I have been there now. Fun story. When I moved to Berlin 2014 the first time, a furry from Australia. I Skyped with them and was like, "Hey, you're living in Berlin? Hey, did you know that Eurofurence just moved there?" What? And so was my very drastic introduction to the German furry community. Back then I was like, I believe I just had... Did I already have a Fur Affinity account? Maybe. Probably. But yeah, I was more the silent one, liking movies and videos with furry characters and whatnot. But... then this person, I cannot even recall her name, sadly, because I'm a horrible person who cannot remember stuff, was like, yeah, Eurofurence, Europe's biggest furry convention, it just moved to Berlin. I was like, I just moved to Berlin, let's go there! And so I bought my ticket, and I went there, and I met people, I made friends.
All the normal cons there.
Yeah, I know. As a consequence from there, I moved, I found the big, I mean, every country probably has the one big forum. I found the big the German big furry forum. From there, I found the local get-together. So I went there for a few months, every month, like, meeting people, yay!
And then you didn't.
Getting a lot of hugs, being the only straight guy surrounded by gay people, yay! It's a fantastic experience. So anybody out there who is cis white male, if you ever want to feel like a minority and want to get discriminated,
go to a German furry meetup.
Or any furry meetup. It's actually internationally
gay.
I had the best, thanks to my furry friends, I had the best New Year's Eve party a while ago. I was literally the only straight guy. There are like a dozen people. I was literally the only straight guy, and they actually made fun of me for it. They made jokes on my expense because I'm...
you like vagina.
No, but not like this. But it was because they were friends. It was a funny, interesting experience. I can only recommend it. Like, hey.
But yeah, so he's been talking about it for a long time, and then we found out that when they announced that the theme was aviators, I was like, I need to go. Yeah,
because I have been, to wrap it up, I have been there 3 years in a row. I only skipped last year because work was a pretty big project going on. And at the same time, the theme was Egypt, and I was like, Egypt?
But this one was like Take on the Sky, aviators, and I was like, can I come? And he was like, yeah. You were, I thought it was like, yeah. Cool, I'm gonna have a friend there. That's not a gay thing.
Realistically, it was just
Sure.
But yes, so yeah.
In all fairness, the buddy I usually hang out the entire con with had his own new folks with him, and they were interested in different stuff. So actually, yes, in hindsight, I can say it turned out very well to have somebody who was actually joining me on all my own misadventures.
But yeah, so we went, and I have. Should we show off the stuff, or should we tell some of the wonderful anecdotes?
I mean, let's merge the screen time of the two of us together, because we experienced more or less the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a first timer at Eurofurence, how do you? I mean, I will just comment on it. How would you describe your experience? So from the opening ceremony onwards.
Oh, you look like that. That I guess it was fun.
So I believe how long have we? I believe with the delays we have been like an hour in line for the opening ceremony.
Okay.
And
real talk.
And when we entered we were waiting for an hour for the opening ceremony. I was like, yeah, opening ceremony, you have to go there. And when finally the doors opened and we moved in, I was like, yeah, this will be horrible. This is super cringy and bad.
Yeah,
and she was like, what? That we waited for? Why we waited an hour for what?
Yeah, so we got to the place. This is Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. We got registered. We did all this stuff. We were walking in and we got into the line. And the line wasn't moving. And it was like 10-minute delay, 10-minute delay, 10-minute delay. And I'm like,
Eurofurence classic.
And I was like, is this normal? And he's like, oh yeah. And so we finally got in, got good seats, and he was like, so I was like, so what do they do in the opening ceremonies? Oh, they just give some announcements and stuff. Then why are we here? They
pretty cringy and bad.
And I was like, how bad? Then the board of directors come up dressed as pilots.
Oh my god!
And stewardess and a security guy, and to the point where it's like, okay, we want to get our guest of honor up here. Let me just grab my captain's log, and it was a stuffed log.
Oh my god!
And they had a video talking about the con rules, safety stuff, and it was a creepy CGI wolf talking about it with like
90s commercial CGI.
Like
are we talking like reboot era CG here? Like no.
We're talking about the Donkey Kong Country animated series.
Oh yes.
Oh.
I want to shower you with bananas.
Was the mouth movements like, hey you guys, how you doing over there?
It was
more like a puppet.
Yeah, it was like
it's more like
the stewardess safety instructions, and it was a green wolf
with dub. And then, but, they also had a cool guest of honor there, Mr. Joaquin Phoenix, who has worked on Big Hero 6, Feast, Zootopia, all this stuff, animation director.
Okay, for a second, I thought you meant Joaquin Phoenix.
No, I meant Joaquin Baldwin.
You said Joaquin Phoenix.
I said
Joaquin
Phoenix, and I just realized in my head, and I was like, see, the first name that comes to my mind when I think of Joaquin is Phoenix, not Baldwin.
Who is that?
But I'm like, Joaquin Phoenix at a furry convention. I didn't know.
He's an actor person. But yeah, Joaquin Baldwin, who's worked on Zootopia and all this stuff, so cool. But it was such a cringy opening ceremony. But then we got out. And it was Wednesday. Not much was happening.
No, it's registration.
So the chairman of Eurofurence, who's also the chairman of Anthrocon.
What? No.
I'm talking about Uncle Kage now.
Yeah, but Uncle Kage is not the chairman of Eurofurence. He's the chairman of Anthrocon. Cheetah, the guy in the middle, the captain.
Yeah, but what does he do for Eurofurence?
Nothing. He's just a regular community guest. I assume that Cheetah is also a regular guest on...
so it's like a mirror thing.
Yeah.
But so Uncle Kage, who's the chairman of Anthrocon, he has a special panel called Your First Furry Convention, and he was up there with the head of security.
Why?
Basically saying, like, this is the stuff you should do or stuff you shouldn't do based off their own horror stories of things. Like, what was one of them?
Uncle Kage is that's probably something to
Uncle Kage is a storyteller. He's like this big boisterous person. But he talked about how one time someone made a map of the United States by gluing Coke cans to the ceiling of a hotel room.
Oh, I mean, it was very nice art, but so I went to the hotel guy and was like, here's $3,000.
Yeah, so there's all this going on. That was a funny panel, and then there was an open mic night. Which we were like, okay, this will either be really good or really bad.
Open mic in like what way? Was it
like that people just went up on stage and performed stuff, and they had Uncle Kage was hosting it, but there was also a musician called Fox and More who would play the piano. I don't want to play that on there.
Fine.
And no, because your phone quality is shit.
Oh yeah, my phone quality is shit.
And then And then there's a musician called Boxamore who will help you play some piano if he knows the songs, but he also does like improv piano stuff. So if you're just talking, he will be on the piano going do 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 do, giving you musical accompaniment. And I had a Bulmers in me, so I was a little buzzed, and I went up on stage and did Frankie Valli's "I Can't Keep My Eyes Off of You."
Yes.
Okay.
The crowd loved it.
Absolutely.
So I was happy. And that was pretty much Wednesday. Wednesday didn't happen. Thursday.
So you were buzzed, and then like nothing else happened after that.
Yep, I performed and I was cool.
I mean, Wednesday starts in the very late afternoon. So.
Yeah, like the opening ceremonies was supposed.
Oh, so is this a convention that starts like in the middle of the week? Not
yeah, it goes from the 22nd to the 26th.
Yeah. It starts on Wednesday with opening. So the Wednesday is what's usually the Friday at a convention.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Saturday, unlike normal conventions who end on Sunday, Saturday is open end. So it has a big show act we will talk about in the very end of the evening, and then a party with open end, like party on the last day. And then anybody can revitalize on Sunday and then return home.
Yeah, but like so Thursday. Was Thursday our marathon day of going to like...
No, Friday was the horror... Oh no, Thursday was the marathon
Yeah,
day.
Thursday was the marathon
It started
day.
late, but then it was like panel.
Yeah, so Thursday we got in, we were chill, and then started panel. You can talk about this.
Yeah, it was Uncle Kaga's Story Hour that JT Ferret just already mentioned in the chat, which is, once again, Uncle Kaga on stage with Fuchs Moore playing music, and he's just telling anecdotes from his life, experiences as his time as a chairman, exactly. I can only recommend, by the way, I would put it in the description.
Oh, you can find it on YouTube.
Exactly. I will see if I can find a highlight, but you can also just go to YouTube and look for Uncle Kaga's, spelled Kage, Uncle Kaga's Story Hour.
Oh, and he drinks a lot.
Oh, yes. He is... This is probably the only thing that you can be like, he is an outright alcoholic. And he's a highly functioning one, but he is really...
how much are we talking here?
He always has a drink. He always has a drink
bottle
in
of
his
wine
hand.
he's always running around with a glass of wine the entire convention. He drinks one bottle per panel he's in, and some of his panels start before noon.
Yep. Yeah, that's the perfect reaction. And then the panel right after Uncle Kage was Grandma Kage. So they had a charity thing, and you could buy tickets.
Old Grandma Kage.
Oh yeah, so it was Uncle Kage's
World premiere.
And she was telling stories about, you know, her life and her son and everything. And Uncle Kage was in the crowd with no pants.
Why?
Because in the previous panel, he made a bet with a friend of his. Apparently, it was a popularity vote, and he lost, and therefore he lost his pants to his friend. So he was forced to walk through the hotel lobby to his mom's panel without pants under his lab coat. I mean, he still was wearing Speedos, but yeah, his bare
That doesn't help.
But the best part was
that makes it worse.
What the best part was is that when he got up after the panel was over, the mom didn't know she wasn't wearing pants. He wasn't wearing pants, and she was like, "Weren't you not wearing pants?"
And we are talking like tiny old lady with her cane, like, have you? But she's mentally all there.
Yeah, she's a cool grandma though. She was talking about how she would punch army dudes in the stomach.
Yeah, basically this is how she met her husband.
By punching him in the stomach.
And he was a soldier.
Hey, I love you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, what the story basically was is that she used to hang around only guys, and they were army dudes, and what they would do as a game is punch them in the stomach while they puff it out, so it would just, you know,
to show how tough they are.
Not that I would. Sound fun.
Not that I would ever do that.
that doesn't sound fun.
But the.
Keep going. Hit him in the balls.
Oh, that's not part of the game.
But but no, and her husband was a newcomer and didn't know that game, so she just walked up to him,
Flex!
And flex, and he didn't know what that meant and just punched him in the stomach. 2 months later, they got married.
And she was basically like hardcore. She was riding motorcycle,
Wearing engineer shoes.
only hanging out with the guys, and raising Uncle Gaga. So
Yeah, but it was great. And then after that was Enter the Arena?
Oh yes, Enter the Arena.
You can describe this
Yes,
one.
I personally love it very much. Once again, Enter the Arena is Eurofurence. Enter the Arena is probably something you can look up on YouTube for some highlights.
It's a fursuit dance-off.
Yes, it's like 16 competitors, all usually in full body fursuit, like the big mascot thingies for anybody who has no idea what a fursuit is. And yeah, some of them are like basically what you would expect from somebody in a fursuit trying to dance, but some of them are like
amazing dancers.
Yes, doing shit that I couldn't do outside of the suit. Which doesn't probably mean too much, but also a feasible dancer could not do outside the suit.
And the thing was,
like really good.
And there were some really great ones. Some. I'm saving that anecdote for Friday. Friday was a.
Oh yeah, this was a draining day for you, wasn't it?
Let me talk about
You
Friday.
okay?
No, you'll realize. So Friday was the first day that me and A&Y cosplay. We did Marvel stuff. So he was Star-Lord, and I worked on this nice Squirrel Girl cosplay.
Thankfully, sadly, the lady who took the pictures hasn't sent them to you.
I haven't checked yet. I could check. My phone's over there, but I don't want to get up.
Is it like current Squirrel Girl, old Squirrel Girl?
The current one where it's like the brown leotard with leggings and the jacket. Yeah, so the current one, because everyone tells me that I look like Squirrel Girl. And
I don't know if that's an insult or not.
No. Well, the thing is, I look at the variant covers that have her drawn really cute, not the ones with the weird fucky face.
Oh, you mean with like the weird like star eyes, like where she's got like weird like.
Did she?
Like
I'm checking.
Oh, okay.
I have like 4 email addresses.
But you only gave her one.
I did only give her one. She hasn't emailed it yet.
No.
But no, like I have a
home.
picture. Hold on.
Yeah, you have a picture you took home at home.
Yes, but like, so this is a really nice. You said that it's a nice Squirrel Girl cosplay. Something that you expect to see someone wear at Comic-Con and stuff. Let's see if the light. Zach, go away. This was the cosplay. Very nice. Very nice. Throughout the entire day, people were stopping us and taking pictures and being like, "Hey, Squirrel Girl, I love it, I love it, I love it," and it was nice. We were having a great day.
Okay, so the way you put, we were having a great day.
There is something coming. Something is happening.
Did we go to any?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, Joaquin's panel was Friday, right? Joaquin Baldwin had a panel where he talked about short films and how he was in the industry.
In the morning. Oh yeah.
And it was a great panel. It showed everyone has their start. So that was cool. Then comes dinner time. We're waiting at a food truck outside. Standing. The guy talked to you because I couldn't speak German.
Yes.
So you take over the story from here.
Yeah, so
We're
one
in
of the con security guys comes up to me. Yeah, excuse me, we have to guide you guys off the property.
What?
This outfit is too revealing.
What?
And I mean, we wouldn't mind.
I mean, there
too
wasn't
much.
even really like much of a cleavage.
No, it goes more about the bottom part because it's a leotard, like basically like a bathing suit with
what ballerinas
with stockings.
wear.
Yeah, but it wasn't like sides were cut out or anything like that showing
No,
skin.
it goes really about the leotard part of the belly downwards.
Yeah.
This was too revealing, and it was like, sorry, we wouldn't mind too much, but the hotel security itself got involved, and then there was also there was a hotel security. I mean, the Eurofurence security are all volunteers, all guys from the fandom, but yeah, there was also this guy with his red tie and suit and everything, who was like, open the back door for us. Let us out.
Can we get our burger first? The line's too long.
Yeah,
We got a rogue Squirrel Girl. Get her, take her down.
Pretty much like, nope, the line is too long. Sorry, line is very long. We need to get you off ASAP. And then, we were like, okay, what if we can manage to get a pair of pants or whatever? We have friends in the hotel. Will this be fine? And like, yeah, sure. If you can cover this horrible display of
Put a towel on her.
And here's the thing. Here's the specification. They were saying it was because there was a performance going on at the same time, because there's like a little theater connected to the hotel that isn't in conjunction with anything for the FurryCon.
It's like a classy evening
normal people.
Program.
And even though there's people in fursuits running around, being all over people and rolling around on the floor, I see some fine ass. Ban. But we got to sit in the beer garden. I had a few cocktails.
Yeah, I mean, it was like we were obviously not going to the train because we still had plans for the evening, like furry.
See, I was afraid this was going to end with like some creepy sexual harassment stalker shit or something like that.
No.
That happened.
No.
But
the thing was like, so we were standing there because we were not willing yet to leave. I was trying to reach people, guys who were walking past, and I was like, who I knew were like, hey dude, can you try to, do you know people? Can you try to find something? Somebody, we just need a pair of pants. And the buddy I'm usually, Carolot, the buddy I'm usually hanging out with, he has a room there because he's not from Berlin, but he was currently somewhere at an Asian place getting food.
This guy is at least half a foot taller than me.
But yeah, we were
half a foot wider.
I kept just texting him like
please.
We are desperate. We take everything at this point.
Because they were like, oh, we'll let you back in at 11 o'clock. And I'm like, we got back in. I'm walking around wearing essentially clown pants. But we did furryoki, which was fun. At this point, I'll be honest, I was completely hammered because I was angry.
Well, in the dealer stand, somebody took a look.
I'm wearing to reveal an outfit. You're wearing to reveal an outfit. Show you my ass.
No, see, in the dealer's den, because we were there earlier, they had liquor samples. So I had a lot of liquor samples, and then I had a Bulmers, which is an alcoholic cider. Then I had 2 Sex on the Beaches outside because I was angry. Then I had another Bulmers.
Why?
But can I just say, I rocked karaoke. The entire crowd loved it. But I was, and here's the thing, I get stage anxiety when I drink and when I'm sober. But when I'm on stage, you can't tell. But as soon
Usually it's the opposite when I see people.
As soon as I get off stage, I'm like, I need to go sit down somewhere. And then we went to the fur dance, which for once was classic music, not because
80s, 90s,
because
furries, good stuff.
Because furries hate good music.
Yes,
all they have is EDM.
In their program, they have a party every night. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Saturday, no idea why. They even have a small final after party on Sunday for the few remaining people.
Called the Dead Dog Dance.
Yeah, for the few remaining people.
These people don't have good taste like I do.
No.
I bought the Jimmy Neutron soundtrack for $1 yesterday.
Nice.
But no,
taste.
just saying that, just speaking of which, there was one panel I think also on Thursday that we went to that was terrible. It was teaching how to break dance, and here it is. The 10 minutes we were there was purely ANY getting more and more frustrated with how this guy was training.
Yeah, because I will admit I'm not the quickest on catching up on steps and moves and something, but I did martial arts. I actually did a few dancing, so I can. With a little bit of good directions and a little bit of time to figure the moves out, I can actually get choreographed moves into my system. Just this guy was like, yeah, here's a move.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2. So not like left foot 4 or something. No, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Step 1, 2. Step 1, 2. No.
Now let's do it with music. Okay. Now here's the next figure, which is like 8 steps. Here I make it once. Okay, now let's do it together. Okay, now let's do it with music. And I was just.
Did he actually talk like that?
At one point, I looked over. Max is sitting crisscross applesauce, just like.
Yeah, I was like.
And I was like,
cannot follow. It's no point to.
And I was like, do you want to go? And he's like.
Yes, let's go.
But anyway,
Were arms still crossed? You want to go?
Yeah, but like.
I couldn't even talk because my pute was too.
Your pout was.
My lower lip. I can't move it. I like.
But yeah, we went. The classic stands had some good music. And then it started playing ABBA. For some reason.
How dare you? How dare you?
Well, not like dancey ABBA.
No,
like,
and it has been long.
It wasn't damn, what's the song called? It wasn't Take a Chance on Me. It wasn't stuff like that.
But yeah, it was already a very long and eventful day at this point, so we cut it short. Even so, it was the only evening where we at least danced to the music.
Just to say, the visuals that they were putting in there, they just went online and searched planes because they played the entire SFM of Turbulence from the Saxy Awards, the one where there's the plane full of scouts, heavies, and soldiers and spies. and
see, I was afraid you said they looked up planes. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, they're playing the whole movie Planes up on the screen right now.
Oh, I'm pretty sure at 3 a.m. they probably did.
But no, like Max has never seen that video before, so he's just looking up and seeing the heavies and the scouts fighting each other. And I was like, have you never seen that? He's like, no. And there was no audio playing because there was music, so he's just like, what? I want to see this stuff. But yeah, we were going home. Okay, I learned a lesson that day.
Oh boy.
When you go through a thing of high stress, or when I go through a thing of high stress, alcohol doesn't help because I was already feeling weird at the dance, and I was like, I'm not happy. Something's wrong.
Mr. Max.
Was this after or before the alcohol?
After.
Like,
Mr. Max, I don't feel so good.
But sorry. No, we were walking to the train station.
But you just passed out?
I fell.
Okay?
I fell over and I was like, I thought someone put something in my drink because I was just like, everything's moving. But, and apparently on the train, I was just kind of like, and he was sweating bullets, being like, "Don't throw up! Don't throw up! Don't throw up!"
It's a 20-minute train ride, and I am wearing my beautiful Star-Lord jacket. Don't.
And I'm just on the way home. I'm just like, I'm sorry. He's like, it's okay. Just get home. Come on.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Nope.
I didn't throw up. I woke up the next morning being like, I'm remembering fragments. And he's like, don't beat yourself up. Just don't drink when you're that stressed out, okay?
Yes.
And I'm like,
Grandma
yes, sir.
my drink.
Yeah, but no, okay, Saturday was a fun day because this is the day where we went out shopping. But part 2 of our great story.
Oh boy.
She got kicked out again.
So we had Squirrel Girl on again because...
Oh my god.
Because they were like, oh, the outfit's fine. It was only because of this event.
Yeah.
Back to the German
hotel
people.
The hotel guy himself. Later, so first of all, after we got originally kicked out, we were waiting to get the pants. The security guy from Eurofurence came back and was like, "Hey guys, okay, I'm off shift now. I just wanted to see that you guys are happy. We really don't want to make you regret anything." Then even the hotel guy came back and was like, "Ah," and I'm like, "Hey, we are waiting for trying to reach out to a buddy. He has a room here. We will get a pair of pants." And you're like, "Okay, it's fine. You can wait in the beer garden, have drinks and everything, and return to the hotel property after 11 when the main show is over." It's mostly because of the main show. So this was explicitly what he told us, that either find a pair of pants and then we can return to the premises, or wait until 11 and even then we are welcome back. So for me, it sounded very directly the correlation why this outfit was not okay, and there was a direct correlation between outfit not okay and this event. So we went there the next day once again, pantless. Oh, she.
Well,
I was
okay,
wearing
here's
pants.
the thing. I brought shorts.
We just decided, fuck it.
I brought shorts this time. Like, I actually have a picture of what the... luckily, the outfit with shorts still looks like a Squirrel Girl outfit. It looks like what she wears in the cartoon, which is, that, which, it still works. I'm
Casual.
if you can't tell, I'm holding Bulmers. But the thing was, we were walking, people were complimenting, taking pictures again. Someone actually took pictures with their actual camera of me and him in the proper outfits, and we told them what was going on, what happened the day before, and they were like, that's bullshit. And then we're in the vendor hall, and we're like, yay, we're finally getting stuff, we're having our good day.
Security. Excuse me, you guys have to leave.
And then they started talking to him again.
Yeah, and it was basically the same. I explained like, yes, this was, but we talked about this yesterday with colleagues of yours, and the explanation was, no, but it is too revealing, and I'm like, okay,
We have
no
pants.
problem. We have a pair of pants in the locker. We will go there right now. No further trouble. We will go.
So there was like no one else at the convention like showing skin.
No, this is my theory about it. So
Yeah, because I was pissed. I was we were at McDonald's and I was just like dipping my fries in curry sauce angrily, and he was like, I
have a theory
Yeah.
why this keeps happening and why this keeps happening to her. So this is a furry convention.
Alright.
Furries are 90% dudes, and of those 90%, another 90% are gay or bi or whatever.
some form of the rainbow.
Yeah. So at an average furry convention, or at least the one in Germany, maybe it's different in the US, there are no cosplaying girls. There are primarily suitors, and because suitors make up such a big part of it, it's like either you are like no suitors, but then there will also be no convention, or you are like, okay, yeah, this is a part of the convention, like the booth babes are a part of a Gamescom.
E3 and stuff.
Or of a E3, yes. Nobody at E3 would make a fuss about a booth girl. Well, some feminists do, but nevertheless, the majority of people would not make a fuss about it because there are hundreds of them, because it's not a single case.
American conventions as a whole,
Also
there's so many
different,
cosplaying girls.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, I think because she was literally the only girl there in a revealing. Once again, not even bikini level, but bathing suit levels revealing.
not even really bathing suit. I'd say maybe like swim trunks.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, no, it was bathing suit. It was leotard. What the dark shadow was the
Stockings.
Stockings.
So things were covered, even if some things were mesh, but they were still covered. Nothing besides my arms were hanging out as naked. But like, yeah. Point being, he was just like, look, you're the only one here. This is why they're going after you. And I'm like, but all these fursuiters are like walking around being all cuddly
yes,
and gay.
but there
and
are
it's like,
hundreds, literally thousands.
Yeah, so I was like-
1,300 registered fursuiters at this con.
yeah. So I was like, fine, I will continue eating my McNuggets in anger, but then I'll be fine. But after that, we finally went out and bought stuff.
Oh boy.
Time for the haul.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So they had a little artist alley, so where people sit down and it's first come first serve. And I got this very nice tigress with a D&D die, and I was like, oh, that's pretty.
the D&D die.
And the person even signed it being like, thanks, Squirrel Girl, because I
Yes.
and that was cute. Then I got a comic book called
First
Wolf
edition.
Doodles.
Let me
Wolf Doodles, Wolf Doodles.
Yes,
Wolf Doodles.
if you can't read what the little dog is saying, he's saying, I can't remember where I left my piece of toast. And it's a bunch of little comics and little doodles, and
Very
it's really
cutesy.
cute. And
See,
then-
for me, I heard the title Wolf Doodles, and for some reason, like, my dirty mind immediately went to it's a book about wolf dick.
Oh, you want some dirty stuff. There
Oh,
was
no.
liquor at the con. And I got this.
Oh my god!
This is probably the most safe for work print of all of them.
Yes. Let me just say, some of the other bottles had. There was one that was like an almond schnapps that had a zebra jacking himself off.
What?
2 completion.
Mice milk.
Mice milk, which was a vanilla vodka thing with 2 mice filling up a saucer bottle with cum.
Please tell me they weren't like fucking.
No.
Like
It was cum.
Oh.
And then there was a pineapple one with a girl tied up.
This one is surprisingly also safe for work, unless I'm overlooking something. I don't. Oh wait, there's a little bit. Okay.
There's a little.
Let me put a finger on top of it.
There's a little penis.
No.
It's a vagina.
Not, it'll. But yeah, this is another one that I had.
But then they also had one of these 2 horses, and their dicks were wrapped around each other. I think that was cookies and cream. But this is really delicious stuff. Like, I forgot what flavor this is.
Looks like
it doesn't
carrot,
even say.
like.
Only one way to find out.
And the joke is you can only get those Snickers.
Chug. No. Okay. Oh my god.
Drinking the liquor out of a bottle. My bottle up there is from, actually not from last year, because I wasn't last year. My bottle up there is 2 years old. In case you don't empty this bottle, you have your spit swimming in there for 2 years.
I just had like my tongue wasn't here. My tongue was like right here.
Backwash, my lady. Backwash.
It's not backwash.
Anyways,
but I think
what's it taste like?
I think it's grapefruit, but it's good. And then we also got...
And only available at Eurofurence.
Yes. And then we also got tea liqueur, which you also got. I got currant and cherry, and he got raspberry.
I got raspberry, indeed.
It's tea liqueur. And it's really good. It doesn't taste like liquor, meaning that it's very dangerous. And then we went to the art show, which is like, you can bid on stuff and things. He lost both of his bids. I actually got something at the auction itself, which is this cute little dog.
It's an original.
And it's an original watercolor piece by this artist that sells stuff for hundreds of dollars. So I got it for a steal.
For people who are not familiar with her, Cool is the name, Koul. I will link in the description down below, because she draws awesome stuff.
And it's called Yeen, and I got this for my mom. And then I thought I had the little. I also got a little red panda.
Oh wait, yes, I saw it earlier somewhere.
Yeah, it's a little. I got a little red. I got a little red panda charm for my friend Lauren because she loves pandas.
Is she watching this show? Did you just spoil the surprise for her?
No, she doesn't watch it. And then
does he watch the show?
No, I don't think so.
What show?
Empress, are you here?
No.
Let us know if you're here, Empress.
This one has an interesting story. So we were in the dealer's den. I was like, I think I saw this at the art show. And they were like, yeah, no one bidded on it. And I was like, oh, I'll take it off your hands. And they were like, thank you. And it's actually this nice watercolor of 2 foxes. And I really...
Another original.
And it's framed and everything. And I liked it. Oh, it's upside down. But I guess that's the glory.
How couldn't you tell, you pleb?
But you've got yourself some things.
I got also stuff, because I don't own a lot of color in my wardrobe. And there was a stand with Bruce with colorful furry themed t-shirts. I got myself some new clothing, including the party Hina. And no, your camera is not having double vision. This is actually the print.
Like a 3D-ish effect.
Yes, and it doesn't come through with the. It looks more blue, but it's in the camera, but it's actually a rather deep purple. And I can tell that I literally never wore this color, because today, the entire day, whenever I came by a mirror, like, oof, this looks so weird. It's purple. And there was a get 2 for less money deal, so I got a second one, which is this Wolfie.
And it's blue.
Yeah, but the turkey's blue, because usually the only colors I wear besides
gray, black,
red are like red and green. So getting some other colors into the mix was a good
So our final event, to close it off, was the Puppet Show.
The Puppet Show.
A puppet show.
Paw Pet Show.
But it is essentially Muppets, and it was a 4-hour show. What?
Get all your junk away. I need to do my technique.
Do you not like the junk in my trunk?
Nope. I need to do my usual techno wizardy stuff here. You keep talking.
But yeah, the puppet show is like this big puppet show, high production that they do, live performance, and it's this one was 4 hours long.
Oh my god!
And they have like a whole theme, like they did this space epic theme this year, and it was a lot of fun. It was weird. It was a weird concept to see because I've never seen a live puppet show before, or the ones that I have seen, I've been part of. But like this was interesting.
As examples, because material from this year has not appeared online. This year was the first one I saw, which is bloody hell. Which is the logo of it. Wait,
like they make an entire soundtrack for the damn thing.
That didn't work. So here is, this was one a few years ago, Keepers of the Light. So this is the artwork for it they do to advertise. And the puppet show itself looks something like, open a new tab, this. Oh, this is an entire video. Well, Pompeii is actually supposed to be a very good one. So let me, you know what guys, I'll link it for you down in the description below since I already found it. But yeah, you see how it is made with...
Yeah, and it's a huge production unit.
Those are pretty good looking puppets.
Yeah, they make their own puppets and everything. It's really cool. So, and then after that, you know, we've had our days, our nights. And we went to the cinema today, causing our media, which I guess we will segue to.
Yay, the segue.
And I will talk about this one. Which you just showed it. There we go.
You showed this one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yay!
We went to see The Meg.
He saw Megalodon.
Oh my god, this movie. I never came out of a movie so, in my life.
Really? A Statham movie?
Oh, the thing is, like, it wasn't bad. I don't know if it was good.
I mean, it's a B movie. I don't expect to call it great.
But the thing is, it exceeded some of my expectations, and at the same time disappointed me all at the same. It's such a mixed colada of film. So yeah, Jason Statham is this rescue guy, and they did this research mission where apparently under the Marianas Trench is not an ocean floor, but a thing of like ice cold cloud that when you go down there's species unknown by man or thought to be extinct, like the megalodon. And they were rescuing a team from under there, and when they did, they caused an opening in the ice, making a megalodon come to the surface. So now they have
So it's the plot of Piranha.
Yes, it is the plot of
Piranha. It's prehistoric piranhas that come out through a rift at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Accidentally get opened up at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, and this movie is like...
Though I doubt that this movie is nearly as trashy as Piranha.
Oh yeah, no, this one actually has some quality.
Piranha is hard to top with the piranha who eats a guy's dick and burps it out into the camera for the 3D and then eats it again.
Yeah.
Well, that's the second one. That's not the first one.
Oh, this was Piranha. Okay, then it was Piranha 3D.
3 double D.
Oh yeah.
Remember, it was called 3 double D.
Oh yeah, they I believe they also had an implant from a breast at some point in view.
Anyway, the Meg. See, the thing is, a lot of this stuff was actually pretty good quality. Like the megalodon itself did look kind of. I would not want to be in the ocean with this damn thing. Kind of.
Well, it's bigger than most whales, so.
They showed how big it was.
Yeah. It literally eats whales.
Jason Statham, of course, was good. It's Jason Statham. A lot of the actors were pretty decent. The Chinese actors that they got, which, you know, I'm not saying Chinese because of their race, but because they've pretty much only performed in Chinese productions. They did really well. You could tell that China financed this movie a lot, though, because half the movie takes place there.
I should have gone with the Chinese banner after all. Maybe I can still find it. You continue talking.
There was so much of the movie that didn't make sense.
Yeah,
not even didn't make sense. It was just so pulled out of its ass.
Yeah, some moments were like, well, this is actually going well, so we need to have something dumb happen. Just very
Let's
unlike.
keep someone in the water for 5 minutes.
Yeah, or
Oh, that reminds me of Jaws 2. So I hate the climax of Jaws 2 because so many of the people in the climax are just like, let's just stay in the water, and then the shark will come up to them, and it'll just swim away for no reason, and then it'll come back like 2 minutes later, and it'll never kill anyone.
That is a good banner.
Hmm.
But like, I mean, that is threatening. But yeah, they actually subverted some tropes.
Yes. So they had people fall into the water even while the megalodon is around, and they still got away. Like, oh, dead. Oh, they got safe. Okay. Oh, yes, dead. Oh, got away again.
There was no like big kiss or anything like that.
Also, yeah, that wasn't.
It was actually, and some of the characters were actually pretty charismatic. We were like, oh yeah, we like we actually liked these people. I wouldn't say cared, but we liked them. Here's the thing: when we were coming out of the movie, we were like, well, that was a movie. Yeah, it was.
I mean, it wasn't boring. It was entertaining enough.
There was a scene where the 3D was like, was this the whole reason the movie was in 3D?
Oh yeah, there was one.
Like, is it that thing on the poster where it's just like coming out of the water?
No. So, I mean, you know those.
You know those hamster balls you can go into and you can glide on the water. And so he bites into one of them and then it just and it pops in. And I saw him go like.
Yeah, because it seemed that we're really very like. And in 3D comes the
lid.
Yeah, the lid just comes into the camera. Like, oh, this was an unnecessary jump scare.
Yeah, and then yeah. So the thing is, I don't know if I'd recommend Meg. It's not something you have to see, but you don't lose anything from seeing it, but you don't gain anything from seeing it. It's like eating pudding. You don't gain anything from it. But
Well,
you don't
probably
lose
a few
anything.
pounds.
Not from one pudding cup.
Yeah, I remember last time I ate chocolate pudding and I was like,
Oh, do you just turn into the go gig lab?
that thing. I forgot about that.
Totally. The gobble.
But so that was my media. What about
So,
you?
but Michael, do you have a media prepared?
About what?
Have you a
we
media?
sent you the video.
I know. I'm kidding.
Okay, good.
Do you have one?
Well, like of something I've seen or done recently?
Yes.
Well, again, I
Because
saw
it's not
Christopher Robin last week.
Yeah, but I would say, I mean, if you have nothing
Wait,
else,
wait,
okay,
yeah, something.
because Aficionados talked
Yeah,
about it last week. But if you have something else, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so this week, me and some buddies went through, not counting Homecoming because we watched that a few months ago, we went through all the Spider-Man movies. Like, we just decided to watch all the Raimi and the Mark Webb Spider-Man movies. And I gotta say, it was interesting because I hadn't seen some of them in a while. I hadn't seen the Raimi trilogy in quite a while. Oh my god, the first movie is so stupid.
How stupid.
Oh my god. Okay, we went into it not expecting a riff. Like, we expected something that was not a riff film.
Yeah?
We laughed harder at that movie than I think any movie we've riffed in the last month.
Oh,
It wasn't... I don't, to this day, since we watched it 5 days ago, actually more like a week ago almost, but I don't know if I can call it good or not because I laughed so much at it. Willem Dafoe, oh my god. Oh my god.
His conversation with his mask.
Not just with his mask, also with his reflection in the mirror.
Strike the heart.
Willem Dafoe did basically Gollum before the Lord of the Rings movies, didn't he?
Pretty much.
Spider-Man was older, so he did the entire.
Well, technically you're right because Fellowship came out I think the year before.
Oh,
and
I
think it came out because Return of the King came out 2003 and they were doing every year. So yeah, and then Two Towers came out the same year Spider-Man 2 did. But
okay, so maybe William stole it.
Again, also James Franco's acting, I don't remember him being that horrible in that movie. Like, that he doesn't have much to do in the movie, but every time he's on screen, it's just like, hey, Pete.
Lil Osborne or...
Oh.
Oh, who is it? Osborne Jr. or...
Oh, yeah, James Franco.
What character did he play?
Harry Osborn?
Okay,
yeah.
Osborne Jr. Okay, yeah.
But,
yeah.
So out of all of them, which one would you say is the worst?
One.
Really?
One
Even
is
worse than
one
number
is
3.
Even
One
worse than Dancing
was-
Peter Parker.
What, with the third one?
Yeah.
Emo Parker.
That's literally 7 minutes of a 2.5-hour movie.
I
That
know.
doesn't ruin the film.
But then we also have his clash with what's Venom's name again? Later
Eddie
Venom.
Brock?
Yeah,
Hope for Grace?
No, Brock. His clash with Brock comes in and then he's like, haha, here's the photoshopped image, rah, ha, 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 and
I don't think 3 is that bad. I don't think it's a good. I think it's a good movie.
Hashtag unpopular opinion.
I don't understand. Rewatching the movie, I hadn't seen it in like 7 years, so I was kind of expecting like to rewatch it and be like, oh god, I see all the problems now. It's a fine movie. It's a well-made film. I think it's not a bad movie. I don't think it's a badly made film. I think the writing's fine. And yeah, Emo Peter Parker is one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in a superhero film. But oh my god, it's so bad.
In all fairness, I haven't watched any of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans in forever myself. Maybe I should marathon all three
The first 3 Spider-Mans are still better than the 2 that came after it.
I don't know. I just think 3 was a well-made cover. Some of the scenes in that movie are like some of the best scenes I've seen in a Spider-Man film. Like, some of the scenes in that movie are so good. And honestly, I feel like when I go back to a lot of the hate the movie gets, a lot of it seems to stem from really petty complaints.
I mean, I don't think the movie's awful. I just like making fun of it.
Well, the thing I always see people point to is like, oh, emo Peter Parker. Yes, that's 8 minutes of a 2-hour, 20-minute movie. No. That's 8 minutes. No. That's like 5% of the movie.
The complaint that I am actually more on board with, except for hating on this scene because it's fun, is oversaturation of villains. That they have so many villains that the individual villains get not a lot of good development. I mean, we have the second Green Goblin, we have Sandman, we have Venom, we have Spider-Man's own Black Spider-Man arc before the entire Venom arc. It's so much.
Okay. Counterpoint.
Okay.
Counter-argument here. Okay. So Harry had set up the Green Goblin stuff since the first movie because the hatred for Spider-Man had been building up over 3 movies. Mm-hmm. So that works out fine. Also, they don't focus on him being a villain for very long. They don't because remember, Harry gets amnesia in the movie when he fights Spider-Man the first time because he gets whacked on the head really hard. So I feel like they have to redevelop a lot of Harry's character, and then at the end he finds out, oh, he killed my dad. And then Willem Dafoe appears in the mirror and he's like, you have to kill Peter Parker.
And then the butler comes in and is like, oh, by the way, your dad was poked by his own lighter.
Okay, that I will admit. Why did it take him that long to tell him? I don't understand why that took so long for him to tell Harry.
I saw you turn to madness for years, but I decided that now is a plot convenient point to mention this little tiny fact.
Like, I don't know. I think each villain gets a fair enough amount of screen time, in my opinion, because Sandman is still, I'd say, the primary focus villain. Mm-hmm. Even though, and also, I think Eddie Brock, I thought Topher Grace did fine. I think he's not built like Venom.
Less talking about the character, more of the handling of the character. Like, he comes in, then there is look, here's I red circled all the Photoshop mistakes, and it just was like he came in, he did the thing, he got countered, whoop, it moved so very quickly.
I don't know.
You know what though?
Then again, I'm talking completely out of my ass since I haven't seen the movie in years.
You know what? I will watch the first 3 Spider-Man movies before I would watch the second Amazing Spider-Man. This one.
Yeah, I know which one, but
to me, the first 3 ones at least had charm.
That's okay. When we get to the Amazing Spider-Man movies, then I can tell you about something. Okay, so
but Emma Stone.
She can't save the movie.
We'll get there.
Okay, but yes. What's your final thoughts on the Spider-Man 3 thing?
I think Spider-Man 3 is a movie. I like that more people have been giving it a chance over the years, because I think the movie deserves more of a chance, because I feel like it got unfairly bashed. And even when I go to reviews that criticize it, a lot of it feels like very petty problems to me. It doesn't feel like legitimate bad things about the movie. Okay, emo Peter Parker. Yes. Oh my God, that is so terrible. But again, it's only 5% of a nearly 2.5-hour movie. And that doesn't ruin a film for me. It's not, I still think there's enough good in the film. Like, oh my God, the Sandman is so good in that movie. Like, every scene with him is so good. Like, same with Harry Osborn. I think James Franco did the best performance he's done in those movies in that film.
Hey, Pete.
Like, I just think everyone did a good job with that movie. It's not an amazing movie, but I think it's a good movie.
But the Amazing Spider-Mans.
Well, I want to briefly go over Spider-Man 2.
All right, fair.
Oh.
Good point.
Spider-Man 2 is the best. Spider-Man 2, I had not seen in the longest time. I had not seen it for probably about 9 years. And so I was kind of afraid that it was going to be like, oh, this is stupid. Not good. This doesn't hold up well. Because I was afraid after the first one. I was kind of like, oh, God, is this going to be the same thing as the first one? I think Spider-Man 2, rewatching, because it's the one I've seen the least. Mm-hmm. I'd say I've seen it like twice, like prior to this. And Spider-Man 2, I'd say, honestly, even with Homecoming, I think that's the best Spider-Man film ever.
I disagree.
I
think it's so good.
Homecoming is so good. I once again, I need to go back and rewatch we two have a talk. Once I went there and we watched all the 3 Spider-Mans. Maybe I will just bow down to your superior wisdom, but
I'm not trying to my opinion. It's fact here. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that I'm right.
It's a battle of opinions. So
I'm just saying I think Spider-Man 2 is a really, really well-made film. I think it's a really good movie.
But Homecoming is the second coming of Christ.
I don't. Okay, so I'm not going to bash it. I do like Homecoming. I think it's a very good movie.
But
I'm going to compare it to Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp and Spider-Man Homecoming are the most, and this is going to be hard to understand, I feel. They're the most Marvel to me. They feel kind of like...
Quip the movie?
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Spider-Man Homecoming both felt very Marvel. But they felt very by the books Marvel. Not bad. They're both good movies, but I'd say it just kind of felt like, okay, I've seen this in another Marvel movie. I've seen this. I've seen this. I've seen this. Like, it kind of just felt very point that I've seen in other Marvel movies. It just felt very...
But Mr.
Good
Edwards,
summer
I don't
film.
want to go.
Interesting. I know, because with Ant-Man and the Wasp, I would agree, because but here's the thing where I'm like, wow, this is a comparison, because Ant-Man and the Wasp was one of the Marvel movies that left the least impression with me, which is impressive since it was the last one I have seen.
Well, it didn't leave much of an impression.
Yeah, because it was a fun action comedy. I enjoyed it. I had fun.
Well, that's how I felt about Spider-Man Homecoming. It was I liked it. It just kind of felt like...
But I actually had the feeling that Peter actually grows and stuff, while it's not all about goofy jokes with whatever his name is in Ant-Man's name is. I forgot his name again. But,
well, I'm not saying stylistically, like comedy-wise, it's the same. I'm saying like the way I felt when I left.
Mm-hmm.
I felt.
Yeah, why I came out of Spider-Man was more like pumped, like wow, this was like it actually with development and with how the confrontation with the Vulture and the reveal turned out, and I was.
Oh,
like,
Michael Keaton's great. Michael Keaton's fantastic in that movie.
Okay.
But the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh boy!
Keyframe wants to hear it.
I need to hear your opinion on this.
Okay, so these are the ones I had seen the least. I saw them both in theaters, and I haven't seen them since. I saw the first one. I remember liking it. And I remember thinking it was a very good movie. Rewatching it 2 nights ago,
What were you
I
thinking?
was so bored. Oh my god, the whole time I was so bored.
I also remember seeing it and liking it. Oh my god, I have the same experience in front of me, don't I? No! Now I don't want to rewatch it.
Like, the pacing was horrible. I didn't think any of the actors were that great. I thought the writing was it just felt really sluggish, and none of the characters were really that memorable to me. Like, say what you want about the Raimi movies, but like, I remember everything about the characters and what happens in those movies, and like the lines and the one-liners and the jokes and the action scenes. I don't remember almost a thing about this movie after watching it 2 days later. Like, I just think it's a very lackluster superhero film. It's not the worst superhero film I've seen. Not even close. Not even close. But I don't know. I just thought it was very unremarkable, which is sad because I'd say it has my favorite Stan Lee cameo.
But the Amazing Spider-Man 2
is one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Why is it one of the worst?
Okay, it's not top 20, but I'd say superhero-wise, I'd put it like top 5 worst superhero films I've ever seen.
Oh boy, what are the other ones? Things
happen. Things just happen. There's no reason half the things happen in that movie. I am making so many enemies in this stream, I feel.
No, I agree.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is such a poorly, badly made film because, number one, they're trying to foreshadow like 5 more movies all in one film, because then they have like, oh, here's the Black Cat, she's gonna be in a later movie. Mary Jane got cut from the film, so she was gonna be later in the movies. And here's Norman Osborn, he's dead, we're gonna bring him back later as a head in a jar, an actual thing they were gonna do. Here's the Vulture's wings. Here's Doc Ock's claws. Like, here, we're setting up like 3 more movies.
Sinister 5, all year.
And here's the Green Goblin. He got away. Oh my god, Dane DeHaan in that movie is the worst. Like, James Franco was boring in the first one, but Dane DeHaan, I remember watching it the second time with my buddies, and I think I said even the first time I saw the movie, it felt like he was trying to do a really bad Jack Nicholson impression. Because the whole time he's in the movie, no joke, every time he talks, he's just like, Peter, my old friend, how you doing? Like, he talks like this. Old times, buddy, old times. Like,
buddy, old pal.
Well, and I remember even saying this, like, why does he talk like he's on like 0.5 speed the whole time? He talks so slow, and it's so painful to listen to. I find it really bad Dane DeHaan hasn't had a good movie since Chronicle.
But overall, what would you would say that Spider-Man 2 is your favorite, and then your least favorite is Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, oddly enough, the sequel's my favorite, and the sequel to the second series is my least favorite. Also, I got to point out something that I thought was a joke when I heard about it. When I watched Red Letter Media's review of Amazing Spider-Man 2, like the week before we watched the movie, because I kind of wanted a refresher, like a small refresher of what was in the movie, like to prepare myself. And there was a thing they pointed out that I thought was a joke when they pointed it out, because at one point they say, it's like, so when Jamie Foxx got electrocuted, it fixed the gap in his teeth, because when Electro, he doesn't have the gap in his teeth anymore. And I thought that was just like a joke, because then they showed a side-by-side, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, is that just a weird inconsistency? And then I watched the movie, and he falls in that pit of electric eels, which, honestly, I think the comic book explanation of how he became Electro is less stupid. But he falls in that pit of electric eels and gets, like, shocked to death until he, like, gets fried. And they cut to his teeth when he's getting electrocuted, and his teeth, like, fuse together.
So he has one mega tooth?
I was laughing so hard at that for like 2 minutes, because I just remember going, I thought that was a joke!
Okay, since you had like 6 movies to talk about, to put something down in the description, I put the video from Red Letter Medias in the description. This sounds amazing.
So
it's so worth it.
Yes.
Like it's like I'd say if you can watch any review of Amazing Spider-Man 2, watch Red Letter Medias. I mean, I just say watch Red Letter Media because I love Red Letter Media.
So to keep things moving, your media.
I will keep it short simply due to the fact that we are already over time and haven't even reached the Q&A yet.
We had a very dense episode.
Yeah. Oh, finding it.
Nothing against you.
I'm sorry, my Spider-Man rant.
Yeah, nothing. Well, we were also talking about the week-long con. So Riddick.
Okay. Yes. So
I haven't seen Riddick.
No, here's the thing which I discovered recently on Netflix to my own surprise. There's a third Riddick movie.
Oh yeah, I remember when it came out.
I'm probably the last person on the planet who figured out that there was a third Riddick movie in 2013, and I'm like, there was a third Riddick movie. Somewhere down in the basement, because I don't have the stuff up here, somewhere down in the basement I have the collector's edition with Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, and the anime thingy-majig.
Oh, the animated Evangelion. Not Evangelion, Aeon Flux.
Yeah, exactly. So you could in all fairness say, yes, I count myself as a Riddick fan, or was back in my day. I liked it. It was like, I'm Vin Diesel. I shake myself. I'm jumping from one spot to another in the movie without making any sense, but it was my kind of stupid cool. I love the Riddick shit.
So then you watch this
and then I go to Netflix and I'm like, there's a third one. There's a third one.
There is a
There's a third Riddick.
For 5 years.
Oh wait, I don't have a wife.
So I found out like, oh my god, there's a third Riddick. So I obviously sat down and needed to watch this Riddick movie.
Were you disappointed?
No, it was more of the same. Basically, it was after it went big bad. I can't talk anymore. It went a little bit back to the roots. It was more the setting of Pitch Black than it Chronicles of Riddick, which was like, oh, we have this evil empire to fight against, and no, they were like, okay, we wrote ourselves in a little bit in a spot that doesn't really work with this character anymore. So let's quite literally dump him at the beginning of the movie on a desert planet and let him do his thing again. And give him a few other people to play off, kill a few, survive with the rest. So the usual stick. And I wouldn't say. I mean, they had absolutely horrendous CGI.
I'm glad to see your taste hasn't matured in years.
Not at all. No, the aliens are an absolutely horrible CGI. The writing is as Riddick as ever, which is not good, but it's a complete guilty pleasure. I watched it a lot. I'm not sure how and if it would hold up a rewatch, because I just watched it, so I haven't watched it again. I recall watching the other Riddicks up and down, like Pitch Black and Chronicles, so I watched them each multiple times and they never got boring to me. This one might maybe fall flat, I don't know. But yeah, it was fun to see, especially after such a long time, because I also haven't touched the other Riddick movies in quite a while, to actually see those shenanigans again and still liking it.
Stat and Mulder for judging you back there. But, so yeah, you recommend people watch the Riddick franchise?
I mean, it's on Netflix, so if you have, or maybe on Netflix. Nowadays you can't even tell because they are flipping.
Yeah, Netflix has different distribution rights in different countries and regions.
Yeah, not just that, but they also keep flipping stuff in and out. So a few months ago here on the show, I recommended like, hey, The Intern on Netflix. I have never heard or seen anything about this movie before it popped up as a thing on Netflix. I wanted to rewatch it recently, and I'm like, gone. That's the thing. They also remove stuff constantly.
But yeah,
stop it, Netflix.
If you can get the chance, watch Riddick.
Yes. Yeah, if you watch the old ones, and you liked them, watch this one. It's basically more of the same. Maybe a smaller budget than the second one, I would assume, because isn't this the reason Pitch Black was more of a bit of an indie-ish movie? It was not a big blockbuster, which is...
Oh my god, yeah, I actually just looked up the budget for Riddick and Chronicles of Riddick. Riddick was like a $38 million budget. Chronicles was 105.
Yeah, Chronicles was big with spaceships and CGI and
it didn't even make half its budget.
Which is why I'm surprised that they actually managed to get the crew back together. But yeah, probably they scrapped together a few millions and made like Pitch Black. What was the budget of Pitch Black? This was probably also...
I feel like Chronicles of Riddick barely made half its budget.
Okay.
Pitch Black was 23 million.
Yeah, so even less than Riddick, because shoestring budget. You can tell that they worked with simple things, very tiny cast and everything, and they returned to it. And
I shouldn't have taken a swig of that passion fruit stuff because, wow, that stuff's stronger than you think it is.
Is it still lingering? Take that as a yes.
I feel good, da-da-da. But yes, so
that's the reason why I'm always sober on this stream.
Your final judgment of...
once again, more of the same. It is more in the spirit of Pitch Black than Chronicles of Riddick, so if you like Pitch Black, check it out definitively. A little bit of a red flag about the CGI, and
Yeah.
I had fun watching it, just good old fun. Stupid Riddick fun. But what else can you wish for?
I'm looking at the questions.
Yeah, I need to remove Riddick from the screen.
Well, since we are over time, we're only going to answer 3 questions.
Oh, but we should go.
I'm sorry, my Spider-Man time.
We will also.
No, it was also a week. But we did get one. We got one from Twitter. The rest is on our on the Discord.
So Death Metal, Death Alchemist, congratulations to you for sticking out by using Twitter.
Asked. For you and I, but I guess you've done a little voice acting in your days.
I guess, yes.
For you and the rest, what is your favorite voice VA role to play and why? So what has been your favorite role you've ever done and why?
Favorite role? I hate that question, to be honest, because I have so many roles I like, but I don't think I've ever pinpointed a favorite. I always say... I know it's cliche. I always say my favorite role is the next big project I do.
Okay, well, what's one voice acting experience that sticks out in your mind?
Well, when I did Roadhog for Pymations, number one, because at the time I was a very, very big fan of his work. Mm-hmm. And I just remember he said on Twitter that he was looking for someone to do a Roadhog voice, and I immediately was just like... I can do it, I can send you a demo, I can record it right now. I
think I was there. Were you in his Discord when you did that too?
Yes,
because I was there because I remember I think this was before it became the Meet the Amazing thing, and it was that food, was it? Because Roadhog was in that one.
It was Reaper is Sad.
Oh, yeah.
Which he even admits is not a very good video, and I'm kind of... I don't think my Reaper voice is that great. I think it's pretty bad, but I did Roadhog for that, and then I went on to do the Meet the Amazing videos. And that was, I'd say, a really good experience because, number one, I got to be friends with him and tons of people, and I met more people through that.
Yeah.
I'd say that was a favorite. I'd say playing a character, I cannot say what it is, playing the character in the new Suction Cup Man was a lot of fun, even if it did take a long time to get through that recording.
Oh, boy. Yeah. I would say I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I can't pinpoint, but some of my favorites that I've done is even though they were small roles, I really loved doing Mercy for the Meet the Amazing for Mike because of the story behind it. Because originally there was one short, I can't remember the exact plot, but they were all making food. It was like a cafeteria. And I was playing Mercy and Farah, and I think I put hot sauce rains from above and something like that. But eventually he did the Meet the Amazing, and I was doing Mercy for it. And even though there were a few lines, I had a lot of fun, especially with the "Do you need help?"
Oh no, I remember when I saw you were in it. I thought it was kind of weird because I was like, I don't remember seeing you in any other videos he did, so I always thought it was weird you were in it.
Well, it's because like I was that friend that's always behind the scenes, and then because it's the same thing with Bree. That no one knew I was friends with Bree until I did like the thumbnail for one of her videos, and then they were like, "Oh, wait, you know Keyframe," and then I was in some of her videos, and they were like, "Wait, you played Gmod with Bree? Holy shit!" But besides that, I think some of my other favorites was one for Flim Flamosophy, the people who do the Mentally Advanced series and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did the villain for their season premiere, which was 2-parter, and there was a lot of fun. And they also did a Steven Universe parody where I did Rose Quartz and Pearl. I think that is one of my favorites because they took like a bunch of improv lines and animated them. Two of them were just in the credits, but one of them was in the main animation. Because Amethyst was there and she was like, "I want to be a warrior," and I was like, "Are you sure?" That was the original line, and then I improv, "You are so small, I can squish you between my pudgy little sausage fingers," and they animated that as part of the main story, and I was like, yes. So those are some of my favorites. What about you? You've done a little voice acting.
Very little, actually. I surprisingly end up often with very quiet roles. I mean, I had the guard in your comic dub, and I was... oh, yeah, probably... actually, I remember more of the dubs I did for you. The comic dub where I was the guard who was very collected. Then I was the doctor in the Changeling Queen, like, "My queen."
Oh, yeah. I remember that one, people commenting, being like, "Is that A&Y in the beginning?" And they were like, "No, it's not. He doesn't voice act."
He can't act.
I am basic. I usually like to put it like the late Total Biscuit like to say about himself, like, I can voice act as myself. I don't have a wide spectrum of voices, but I guess if you give me something to read as myself, I have done my own.
Well, there are certain people that just have voices that just work with voice acting even if they can't do a lot of voices.
Like Kevin Michael Richardson and stuff like that. But one of my favorite voice acting stories that include both of us.
Oh, but yeah, I still have to name my favorite. So,
your favorite.
I was, before I remembered the better one, I was going to be like, the one role I never got. Wooten. I'm not sure if you are familiar with him, Michael.
Wooten.
No, what is that?
He is a lute audiobook reader.
Okay.
And he asked me to voice the Anon in one of his fictions, and I gave it a read through and everything. But then the next time we talked, he already had somebody else record it. Like, that would have been fun.
I remember on Twitter there was something like a few days ago, like hashtag share your rejection or something like that. I remember I got a part in a video game like a couple years ago. I don't even remember what the hell it was, but it was some like game, and I remember they got me to record for a character, and they gave me all my lines. They got all the lines, recorded them, sent it to them, and I remember asking them like, "Oh, okay, so when's the payment going to go through?" And they they didn't tell me this, but I found out through another actor, and they told me that, I thought they replaced you, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, they replaced me, and they didn't tell me that they replaced me.
Assholes.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Wow.
They replaced me, kept me in the group, and did not tell me that I was replaced.
Yeah, but
remaining my favorite one would probably be the stupid asshole changeling in I'm a Changeling. Oh no, he's a changeling. She's a pony.
She's a pony, not a changeling. Which is
reading on her channel.
Yeah,
I put a link down below.
Where he's the one accusing this one changeling of actually being a pony in disguise, which is so dumb. But the story, it's a great fiction. It was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But it was just hilarious hearing him be like this dumb person. And I actually got Robin, Zycron, and Damien to voice in that one, which was a lot of fun. But one of my favorite stories, when I first met you, and like you were voice acting lines for Scribbler, and I had to read Pinky and stuff out for you while you were recording the line, so I could do vocal direction for a fic for Scribbler called The Cake Story, which is about
still not out.
It's not out yet, but there's a story behind this.
Wait, what was
You
my
were,
voice? I had this voice that I
Cartok the Glue Maker.
I'm Katos the Clue
Yep.
Maker. Doing this voice for like 20 minutes completely ruined it for the rest of the day.
That sounds like, yeah, I was going to say, that would
But
kill
yeah,
your
so but this was one of our first, like, this was in like the first month we knew each other. And I was doing vocal direction for him and reading as like Pinky and Mrs. Cake and stuff, so he had someone to interact with. And that's the last we heard of it for a while. And then like last year, Scribbler messaged me being like, "Hey, Key." And I'm like, "Yeah, Squibby? Can you voice Mrs. Cake for this thing?" And I was sitting here like...
But this means? Is it still in the works? Do you
It's
know?
still in the works. But like, I was sitting here like...
Is it like an animation or a game?
It's
like,
an audiobook, but like... the
She's
thing-
probably keeping it for Month of the Macabre.
Yeah,
at this
probably.
point.
But the thing was, I was sitting there like, I have a theory, but it can't be. And keep in mind, this is like a year later, over a year later. And I was like, sure, can you link the fic? And it said the cake story. I was like, oh my God. I messaged Max being like, Max, look at this. And he's like, wait, is that the fic? Yes!
Just like the moment ago, I forgot that I did this because it never came out.
But
because I did another one for Scribbler where I just had like 4 lines as a doctor who was supposed to sound German. I wonder why she asked me. And
But yeah, so thank you for that question. That's a good question. So
Yes.
2 other questions. Denim asked, if you had your own brand of cereal, what would it be called?
oh.
breakfast to the max.
Oh, God. What would it look like? Would it just be X's? No. Okay.
It's just like
Hold
the
on.
Mr. T cereal where it was just T's.
Hold on. Here we go.
God damn it.
I hope I poked you. There we go. It's off center. I guess mine
It's
would...
like, I did it!
Mine would be, ooh, I kind of want to call mine Keytatoes, but then it wouldn't make sense. Because...
Sounds like potatoes.
No,
That's
in
where it comes from.
my Discord, my fans are called Keytatoes because when I stream, if someone subscribes, a little potato that looks like Keyframe falls into a cup. Yes, Keytatoes, the most starchy cereal in the world. What about you, Michael?
Yeah, that sounds, I don't know, like, you like some potato flavored cereal? Like,
Exactly. Has some Keytatoes. There's marshmallows in it.
Washmallows?
Marshmallows.
I thought you said washmallows. Like,
No.
what's the marshmallow?
It's soap. But-
It's like, for when you want to clean out your mouth of all them potatoes, use the marshmallow.
Mine is the weirdest cereal. But what about you, Michael? What would you call your cereal?
Oh my God, I've never thought about that. Oh my God.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is an awful movie, the cereal.
Fuck off. God, I've never thought about that.
Weird. Why don't you think about stuff like this?
Because never in my life have I been so bored that I've thought, what would I name my cereal? Like, I just rip off Fruit Loops and call it Michelos.
Michelos. That sounds like a rejected Ninja Turtle. Oh, okay.
Pizza flavored cereal. We call it Michelangelo's.
Oh.
Bam.
Yes.
Get on that,
Yes!
Shark Tank. But the
Kickstarter, here we come.
but the
Yes!
the last question is from our the last question is from our resident question giver, Enigma Royal Prince, asking, what are 3 things that you just can't get into, try out, or experience no matter what people say otherwise?
What are 3 things that you just
I can think of one thing off the top of my head.
Okay, let's make it one thing to get through it
or
faster.
experience?
Like a show, a movie,
Yeah,
a book,
anything.
Off the top of my head, one thing that I cannot get into no matter how hard I've tried was Ruby.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
The Rooster Teeth show. I watched the whole first season and I hated it. Like, I thought there were ideas there that I really liked, but I feel like a lot of the stuff was ruined because I felt the animation was really cheap, so I felt like it was kind of limited in what they could do. So a lot of the action just felt really floaty. I thought a lot of the physical comedy felt really off because of the floaty animation. Like, I thought a lot of the acting wasn't that great. I didn't really care for the characters. I saw it was really bland.
Oh boy,
Like
you thought you made enemies by trash-talking Spider-Man. Whoo, dude!
You are just
I
going
know
to paint a giant
everyone
target
tells
on
me,
your ass.
everyone tells me Ruby gets so much better after the first and second season. I'm like,
I don't
want to watch more.
I mean, there are rules about anime. There's a debate in the anime community if you have to watch the first 3 or the first 1 episode of a news show.
I always watch 3 to 5.
No. To determine if it is worth continuing. And Ruby requests you to watch 3 seasons to figure out.
Well, that's my thing. Is that my show rule is that if I'm not interested after 3 to 5 episodes, then I quit watching. If everyone tells me, oh, it gets so much better after the middle of the second season, I'm like, but I already didn't like watching the first season. I don't want to watch more. Like,
I like that the chat so far is being the exact thing you're describing of it gets better after season 1. I've heard it picks up in season 3.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to sit through like 4 hours of this just to get to the 3rd season.
Yeah. But okay,
like,
so Ruby's yours. What about you?
How long are we doing the show? I'm still stuck at it.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
The one I can't get into. This was something I couldn't get into since I was a little kid. I don't know why. I respect the show, and there was some things about it that I liked, and I liked the sequel idea they're doing. I could never get into Codename Kids Next Door.
I've met a few people that can't.
The thing is,
So-
I actually like the art style because I love Pepper Ann. I grew up with Pepper Ann and stuff like that. I like Mr. Warburton's style. I think the concept is charming. And near the end of the show where they actually brought up the Splinter Cell and some actually interesting stuff, cool. I think that kind of grew into my liking of serialized shows, but I just couldn't get into it because a lot of the stuff was like gross, dumb kid stuff that they had.
I think as an adult rewatching it a couple years ago, I watched like a few episodes. I think it has aged.
Yeah, that's
think-
definitely one of them.
I myself would not call it bad. I'd say
I
I'd call
think
it.
it's bad.
I think it was decent. I'd say it's an okay cartoon.
Yeah, like I don't think it's bad. It's just it's not my cup of tea, but I will sit on a mountaintop and scream how much the Kids Next Door Billy and Mandy crossover is one of the worst things that Cartoon Network has ever did. I hate that special so damn much.
Okay, you gotta admit the Ed, Edd n Eddy cameo was funny.
That's 1 20-second cameo does not a good special make.
I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying that was funny.
But yeah, so that's mine. You.
Yeah, I never got in this super popular thing that everybody loves. So I'm feeling very much like an outsider, but it never really clicked with me, this show called Teen Titans Go. No, not really.
I was about to say, really?
No. My real thing is actually soccer. Which might not sound too interesting to you Americans. Yeah, but for you Americans, it's probably like, okay, he doesn't like soccer.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. But imagine that I would not get into basketball, baseball, and football at once. None of them. Because soccer is basically the one national sport. We are fine with one. We don't need multiple. Okay, you're a little bit bigger. You're fine with having multiple ones. Your direction as well. But yeah, soccer in Germany is basically the sport, like
God.
capital T. There is the one national sport. When we started sucking in soccer, suddenly handball became very appreciated as well. Fucking hypocrites. Nevertheless.
Hand egg.
Yeah, but soccer, total national sport, and I tried it. I really, really tried it because I want to be part of it. You know, I want to be able to hang out with my friends, get drunk, and be like, yay!
Go
this
World Cup.
person just kicked this one of those 12 people who run behind the round ball thingy. He kicked it really hard, and it got into this arbitrary square space at one end of the thingamajig. No, the thing is, previous in my life, I tried it. I never got into it as a teenager. I also was none of the kids who actually like to just be outside and kick the ball. Like,
same.
How dare.
Never like. I didn't like doing it, which is probably a big throwback, because for many people it's like they like to kick the ball, or in case of football, American football, they like to throw the ball or something as a hobby, like as a bonding thing, and obviously then they like the real deal as well. But yeah, I was never into it. And I really tried it with a few years ago before I moved to Berlin. There was another world championship. We had one this year? Was it this year?
Yeah, this year's World Cup you guys lost so bad.
No, so there was one this year, so 4 years back was one in 2014, which was also... So in 2010, probably in 2010, my sister, outside, beautiful weather, Germany game, somewhere in the finals, like I'm not sure, final, quarterfinals, whatever. But it was no preliminaries anymore. It was a real game, outside, giant flat screen in the garden, family and friends, grill, so barbecue, a cooler with everything from beer over lemonade, bayonade, those kind of hipster drinks, everything. It was really the perfect setup. If you cannot enjoy it, there is nothing to enjoy. And eventually, after I ate my steak, I was sitting there with my lemonade, and I was more watching the reactions of the other who screamed at the screen. And at the halftime, I was like, "Hey guys, super hanging out with you. Thanks, sis. Great steak. I go home. I'm fucking bored as hell. Sorry, guys. It's just not my cup of tea." And I tried it. I really tried it. And I mean, I have a family tree which goes back over generations of Germanness, but I cannot get into soccer.
You people sound like all my friends when they watch it. When I watch the World Series, because I love baseball. I love baseball and soccer. Only sports I care about in the least. And I was watching the World Series when the Mets finally got to it. I was like, And I was living with the Wilsonator at the time. And he was more scared of me than anything, because he was like, "How do you get this angry at a TV?" And I'm like, "I'm not angry at the TV. I'm angry at Kansas fucking City." It's like, you don't know these people, Key. I know I don't. But fuck them!
I guess this could also fit. I just don't like sports.
How dare.
But I think sports are ridiculously not interesting.
But you know how I feel about you guys dissing sports? I feel angry.
Angry, do you feel?
Yeah, I feel angry. Oh. But being angry over something so petty, I guess, is a awkward experience.
I don't like sports, but I own 3 copies of Space Jam, so I guess that makes up.
That's even more awkward.
This is very awkward.
I like Space Jam. Shut up.
I will not stop. The last word of the show will be awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The meme is seen on this live stream and talk about random crap. It's time for AWKWARDCast. Random guests and funny gags is the AWKWARDCast. Artists and analysis. You do not want to miss the AWKWARDCast.